the day the neighborhood changed forever. It was a crisp October morning in Maplewood, a quiet suburban town in Ohio, when I found myself at the heart of a storm I never saw coming. My name is James Carter, a 52-year-old police captain who'd spent 2 decades serving this community. That Saturday, I was just a volunteer at our local food pantry, handing out grocery boxes to families in need. Little did I know, my simple act of kindness would unravel a web of prejudice and power that had gripped our neighborhood for years. By the end of the day, one woman's arrogance would cost her everything, and her son would deliver the final blow. The Maplewood Food Program was my pride and joy. As captain of the local precinct, I'd secured funding to ensure no family went hungry. I kept my badge at home, dressing in a plain flannel shirt and jeans to blend in. I wanted to connect with people as James, not Captain Carter. That morning, I was helping Mrs. Evelyn Thompson, a 78-year-old widow who lived on a fixed income. Her warm smile as I loaded 2 boxes of fresh produce and canned goods into her beat-up station wagon made the early start worthwhile. Trouble arrived in the form of Ethan Bradley, a 19-year-old with a smirk that screamed entitlement. He strutted up, eyeing the boxes like they were his birthright. "Those are the good ones," he sneered, glancing at me and Evelyn. "They should go to people who belong here." Before I could respond, he grabbed a box from Evelyn's car, muttering about outsiders getting handouts. I stepped forward, keeping my voice calm. "These are for Mrs. Thompson. You can apply inside if you need help." Ethan's face twisted with anger. He dropped the box, letting oranges roll across the pavement and a jar of sauce shatter. "Oops," he said, grinning. That's when his mother, Patricia Bradley, the HOA president, appeared, phone in hand, already recording. "What's this man doing with my son's food?" she demanded, her voice sharp as a blade. She was in her mid-50s, dressed in a pristine blazer, her blonde hair perfectly styled. To her, I was just some guy causing trouble. I pointed to the banner above the community center. "Maplewood Food Program open to all." Patricia scoffed. "As HOA president, I decide who gets what around here. You're stealing from deserving residents." She snapped photos of me, Evelyn, and the boxes, threatening to call the police. I could have flashed my badge right then, but I held back. Sometimes, letting people dig their graves is the best way to teach them a lesson. Patricia stormed off, dragging Ethan with her, vowing to teach me a lesson. Evelyn looked shaken. "She's done this before," she whispered. "Some folks don't get approved because they don't fit her idea of Maplewood." Her words stuck with me as I headed home, wondering if this was just one bad apple or a deeper rot in our community. By evening, my phone buzzed with notifications. Patricia had gone live on the neighborhood's Facebook group, claiming she'd caught a thief stealing her son's food boxes. "The police are on their way," she declared, pacing her lavish living room while Ethan nodded along. I sipped my coffee, amused but concerned. She was about to learn who she'd messed with. Half an hour later, a patrol car pulled up to my modest ranch-style house. Officers Daniels and Miller approached, with Patricia and Ethan trailing behind, her phone still rolling. "We're here to arrest the thief," she announced to her audience. I opened the door, smiling. "Evening, officers." "Coffee." Daniels froze, recognizing me instantly. Miller, newer to the force, looked puzzled. Patricia pushed forward. "That's him. He stole my son's boxes." I pulled out my phone, showing Daniels my ID badge. His posture stiffened. "Good evening, Captain Carter," he said, voice formal. Patricia's jaw dropped. Ethan backed up, eyes wide. I clipped my badge to my belt. "I'm Captain James Carter. I run this precinct. Those boxes? I oversee their distribution." Patricia's phone slipped from her hand, clattering on my porch. "You're the captain?" she stammered. I nodded. "You filed a false report, Mrs. Bradley. That's a crime." Her face paled as she realized she'd just live-streamed herself accusing the head of the police department of theft. I could have ended it there, but Evelyn's words echoed in my mind. This wasn't just about one incident. I told the officers to file a detailed report, including Patricia's false accusations and the damaged food meant for a senior citizen. As they escorted her and Ethan home, I knew this was only the beginning. Monday morning, I called my team into the precinct. "I want every HOA complaint from the Bradley district reviewed," I ordered. "Look for patterns of discrimination." Officer Lopez reported back later that day with a stack of files. 10 complaints from minority residents, all dismissed as petty disputes. Fines, violations, denied aid. It's targeted. Security footage from the community center confirmed it. Patricia was often there, directing volunteers to give smaller packages to certain families or claiming supplies were out. I visited Evelyn at her tidy bungalow, where she showed me a pile of HOA violation notices. Every time I applied for food, I got one of these, she said. It's like she punishes us for existing. Her story wasn't unique. Other residents shared similar experiences, painting a picture of systemic bias disguised as community standards. Then came an unexpected ally. Ethan knocked on my door one evening, looking nervous. "I'm sorry for what I said," he mumbled. "Mom's wrong about a lot of things." He handed me a USB drive. "These are HOA emails. She's been blocking Black and Latino families from getting food. I helped her, but I can't anymore." He admitted to leaving food on Evelyn's porch in secret, ashamed of his role in his mother's scheme. The emails were damning. Patricia had a priority list for aid, ranking families by desirability. Minority residents were automatically at the bottom. Financial records showed she'd funneled $30,000 in HOA funds to upgrade her home's security system, claiming it was for community safety. I briefed my superior, Captain Hayes, who gave me the green light to act. The monthly HOA meeting was the perfect stage. Patricia had no idea I'd be there, let alone with evidence to end her reign. The community center was packed, the air thick with anticipation. Patricia opened the meeting with a speech about protecting Maplewood from outsiders abusing our resources. She hinted at a rogue official intimidating the HOA, clearly meaning me. When she opened the floor, I stood. "I'm Captain James Carter, your precinct commander and a homeowner here for 10 years. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Patricia tried to object, claiming I wasn't a resident, but neighbors shouted her down. I connected my laptop to the projector and began. First, security footage showed Patricia rejecting food boxes for Evelyn and others she deemed undesirable. Then, audio from HOA meetings revealed her saying, "We can't let those people overrun our town." Emails laid bare her discriminatory system, and financial records exposed her theft. The room grew tense, residents shifting uncomfortably as the truth sank in. Patricia's face went from smug to panicked. "This is a misunderstanding," she cried. "I was protecting property values." But the crowd wasn't buying it. Then Ethan stood, walking to the microphone. "Everything he's saying is true," he said, voice steady. "I helped Mom block families from getting help. She ranked them by race. I'm done with it." He played a recording of Patricia telling him to keep Maplewood pure. The room exploded. Residents shared stories of denied aid and unfair fines. A retired teacher admitted she'd gotten help while her Black neighbor was turned away. The board called an emergency vote. Patricia was ousted as president by a 92% margin. She stormed out, defeated, as a temporary committee took over. Patricia's fall was swift. She repaid the misused funds and sold her house at a loss, moving to a gated community in Florida. Ethan stayed, buying a small apartment and volunteering at the food pantry. He worked with Evelyn to deliver groceries to seniors, earning respect where his mother had sown division. I declined an HOA leadership role, focusing instead on strengthening ties between the precinct and residents. We expanded the food program, and officers joined distribution days, building trust. 6 months later, Ethan organized a community festival in Maplewood Park, free for all. He unveiled a new sign at the community center. "Together, we thrive." Families from every corner of town mingled, kids laughing together on the grass. Evelyn hugged me, whispering, "You gave us back our home." I just smiled. This was what justice looked like, not just exposing wrong, but building something better. Patricia, I heard, tried to join her new HOA's board, but was swiftly rebuffed. Some habits die hard. As for Maplewood, we're still healing, but the change is real. Neighbors talk now, not just nod. The food pantry's banner says it best. Help for all, always. What do you think about this story? Have you seen injustice or bullying in your community? Share your thoughts below, especially on how we can stand against prejudice and build stronger neighborhoods. Your voice matters, so let's hear it.